Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and this... All right. I've been trying to get this thing to stay for like at least a good couple minutes now, and just, screw it. But anyways, for this Stevie's custom monstrosity video, we worked on it a little bit on the stream. The one key thing that I did on this figure, I actually did off stream, so we'll kind of showcase what I did here. But what we have here is a bootleg Marvel Legends Venom, which had like a bunch of accessories and whatnot. This was a commission, so he didn't care about the accessories, but any of like the base stuff. We wanted to repaint it, and we wanted to repaint it to look like how it did in the original animated series. So as you can see, it's got the spider logo on the chest, which I had to hand paint, which I think it did pretty solid overall. Maybe could have got it a little bit more lined up, but I think it's just the way the body shape is I just kind of ended up with an extra little limb over here, while this side, it kind of tapered off into the arm. And then it also comes around the back to match the back, which was probably the hardest part, was trying to line these up as best I could, because the back is just so much more surface area than what you got going on here on the front. It's just a little bit of a pain in the butt trying to line up everything while still trying to make it look really good as well. But actually, I think this is the first superhero figure I've ever worked on. I think it still fell into my wheelhouse of monster stuff, but I'm not used to doing solid lines that aren't like haphazard. Like, we had to do a pattern. Patterns suck. You also notice I gave him the little whites on his hands, and for his extra hands too, he has some clenched fists. So I did the same thing here as well. Gave him the whites there. And then you also see probably the most important thing is for the open mouth. I gave him the little pupil thing that he had going on here, and then recolored the eyes a little bit. Just make him a little bigger. And then you'll also notice that he's drooling now, which wasn't the case on the original figure. So what this is UV resin that I added a little bit of resin to the mouth. Then use UV light to cure it. And then on a piece of, I can't think of what it's called at the moment, plastic wrap, I made little strands using the resin, and then I would cure the resin on the parchment paper so I could peel it off. And that's how I made the strands here. So these were solid. And then I just reattached them to the ton using more resin, cured it, and then that locked each of the pieces into place to make it look like there's some drool hanging off it. And it was just translucent green resin. And I went around that with the mouth and sections of the tongue, and then went back over it with some gloss Mod Podge, just to really kind of gross it up. So it looks like he's drooling. Got a lot of that slime coming out here and there. For the base head, I just repainted the teeth, and then did the same thing for the eyes too, and then just clear coated these, but didn't do anything extra to modify them. Went a little bit brighter with the teeth, so they're tinted a little bit here because of the resin, but I did do them in nice pearly whites because that's just how they looked in the animated series. So for the most part, coloring wise, it was just a lot of whites, and then I had to repaint the mouth here too, just to be a little bit more vibrant than what it was originally, because for some odd reason the mouth had like different tones depending on where like it connected. So like the tongue was a different shade than like the back of the throat. And yeah, other than that, pretty much about it. Because you'll see here, this is a legit one, but this is like the original release, not the one that came with all the accessories. But I had to cover up all the electricity, his veins that are all over his body, which that I just used some black acrylic primer and covered all that up with that. And that was pretty much it for just the coverage. The rest of it was just pretty much spent a lot of time trying to get this pattern right, and then messing around with the gloss for the mouth. But Came out super sweet. Hopefully Shay will like it once it arrives. The other fun thing I had to do too was I tried to make this pattern so that you can still pose them and it looks natural still. So if you shift it around, the only thing I'm a little worried about is the back is a little bit tight. So I worry about the paint scuffing. I cleared the crap out of it. So if you're watching this, if you go to move them around, just take it nice and slow so that the paint won't rub. Because usually my fix for that is using some glue, but it was just kind of, like I said, it was kind of a tight fit there. So I possibly could have popped it off and sand it, but I think a lot of what helps keep them in the place is that friction. So just decided to try to circumvent it and just, like I said, blast it with a lot of sealing. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button. Also, if you guys, actually, I'm skipping a step here. If you guys would like to see the progress for this guy, I'll have a link in the description for the stream that I did when I was working on this. Or just make sure to subscribe to the channel so when I do go live working on figures, you guys will be notified of that. And you can, again, help us defeat those kaijus, hit the like button, subscribe, become Rangers. You can also go follow us on Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, or Facebook. You guys like able to do what you want to donate. Greatly would appreciate it. We also got a Discord attached to our Patreon. If you would like to get commissions done for yourself, make sure to message me through like our Etsy shop, which is also down below. We do custom beams and accessory figures. Also starting to work on sculpting stuff. So we got a giant Godzilla head up there. And also my personal Instagram is another good way to get a hold of me. Our normal Instagram, because Arnez will message me if you guys comment through that. Facebook, Discord is my preferred, but it's attached to our Patreon, so it's $3 donation to get in. But I tend to work a little bit better with people when they're going through there and try to keep things a little bit cheaper too, since you donate. But anyways, see you guys next one. Bye-bye!